recording now.
Okay. So today we're going to do absolute value functions. I'm not sure if you guys done this last year. Anyway, so let's write this down. The absolute value of a number that gives the distance of the number from the origin. So in short, right? In short, basically is if I choose number 6, right? That's the distance from here, 6. Even though I've got negative 6, when I talk about the distance, still 6. So I'm looking at how far the number is from 0 or from origin. The notation for that is this. Basically, when I have a negative 6, the absolute value of that will still give me 6. Does that make sense?
No. Yeah.
6 will give me 6. The negative 6 will give me 6. What's the question?
It just doesn't make sense.
Okay, let's go back to the definition, have a look at it again. The absolute value of a number gives the distance of the number from the origin. Where's the origin? That's the origin.
So it's just the positive of every number.
The positive of that 6. The negative 6, after the absolute value is still 6 because we're talking about the distance, not the direction. Hope that makes sense this time.
So it's just the positive value of each number.
Yep. Okay. Is it okay? Very briefly for that, move on. Now, that's just the description, right? Okay. This is what I want you to guys write this down, this part. The absolute value of x will give me 2 cases. One is x. When x is greater than 0 will give me x. When x is smaller than 0 will give me negative x. We'll have a look at in detail after I write this down. Okay, imagine. What does y equals x look like?
The diagonal line.
It's a straight line, right? Y equals x, it gives me a straight line. When x is greater than 0, or where x is greater or equal to 0, do you agree it's basically this part? It's that part. Yes? When x is smaller than 0, it's this part. It's negative x. Now, so basically that's why we say we reflect the negative part of the graph about the x-axis. So basically we are going to ignore this part. Whenever we have an absolute value of x. This is why you hear some people say that is basically a V shape. So from here onwards, we need to very, very quickly build that conceptual understanding that y equals absolute value of x looks like that. Okay, where it come from? It comes from 2 parts. One is when x is greater than 0, is this part. When x is smaller than 0, is this part. Yes?
Isn't x still like negative on that part?
Yeah, that's because when you draw negative x, it's this, right?
Yeah.
When you draw negative x, it's this part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you got a V shape. Yeah.
It's similar to these, but I still don't understand. If we're making x absolute, as in it's always positive, then how do we get x on the negative side?
We look at the y value. The y value is positive.
So y equals absolute of x.
Correct.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Correct. Yeah. When looking at the y value, now you can see it's this. Yeah. So if I go back to the decimals, well, we know y equals x looks like that as a fact for sure. Yeah. We know y equals negative x looks like that. Yeah. But now when I take the absolute value of x, all the negative part of x will disappear.
You mean the negative part of y?
The negative part of y, but down this part, will disappear. Yep, very good. You can look at this. Yep. Make sense?
Yep.
Very good. Okay, having that, people okay so far? People happy so far? Okay.
So if we're working it out, we just what are the symbols in the absolute? So the opposite symbol of what's in the absolute is what is ignored.
The absolute value of y is the positive. Yeah. Now you can see all the negative part has already disappeared.
Yeah.
So we only focus on the positive part. The concept is okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to here. That's why it says reflect the negative part about the x-axis. Reflect the negative part about the x-axis. Yeah? Okay, move on. Here's my pen. Okay, let's have a look. First of all, evaluate these two questions. 6 minus 15, obviously give minus 9, but the absolute value of minus 9 is 9. Make sense? Because we're talking about the distance of minus 9 to the origin. Yeah? Is it okay? Now, second one, a little bit more tricky. Okay. A few absolute values involved, right? But doesn't matter, I do one by one, right? So I do this one first, I do the inner one, then I go towards the outer one. Is it okay? Now, 7 minus 10 is minus 3. The absolute value of minus 3 is 3. So this part will give me, let me just write down piece by piece. 1 minus, this part is minus 3, but the absolute value of minus 3 will give me 3. Is that okay? Then you go, okay, that'll give me minus 2. Absolute value of minus 2 is 2. Always remember we're talking about the distance, not the direction. For those of you who do physics, not yet, maybe next year.
I use this in programming, right?
Okay. So far so good? Move on. Okay. First one, can I ignore because we've already done it just now, yeah? First one. Is that okay? Everybody happy?
Mm-hmm.
Second one, I'll give you guys time to try by yourself. Let's say 2 minutes, hopefully, enough. In your book, then obviously we'll talk about it together. We are going to sketch y equals x plus 4, but absolute value of it. In junior years, even year 8, year 9, we've done x plus 4, right? This time it's just the absolute value of that. So give it a go. Y equals x plus 4. What is my starting point? What are people thinking? What's the strategy?
Oh, we can like translate it.
Yeah, very good. We can do that way. So immediately I'm thinking 2 ways, right? I mean, totally doesn't matter which way you guys do an exam. We can do in terms of translation, which we talked about last week, right? Or we can do what we did there just now. I can draw x plus 4 first, then take the absolute value of that. When I say take the absolute value, you get rid of the negative part. Totally depending on which way you guys feel more comfortable, but either way would work. How can I draw y equals x plus 4 first? That one should be very, very easy, right?
You just move it left and move it up.
How do I draw this one first? Personally, I always go what the y-intercept. Y-intercept is 4, right? You watching? 1, 2, 3, 4. That is my y-intercept. What's the gradient in this case?
1.
Gradient is 1. Coefficient of x, right?
Oh, yeah.
Gradient is 1. That tell me is 1 over 1. Right? That tell me this part is 1, which tell me that. Which tell me rise over run is 1. So I go up once, I go to right once. I go up once. Is that okay? I've got my 2 points. It's just a matter of join. Join these 2 points. Then that gives me y equals x plus 4. The blue line we just draw. And we know the absolute value in a graphical point of view, meaning I reflect the negative part about the x-axis.
Yeah.
Which means this part I'm going to get rid of it and draw a V shape. Then you're done. Make sense?
Oh.
Does that make sense or not?
Yeah, makes.
Now, obviously,
I get it.
Yeah, you're
because
right.
it's our first lesson to do this sort of thing, I would always recommend we use decimals to check, right?
Wouldn't it go up
Even
equals
though
negative
this one
4?
That's what you're getting in decimals,
I
right?
get it.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Now, another way,
equals 1. Same
like
thing.
you just suggested, you can obviously do translation as well, which would get exactly the same graph. Last week we talked about y equals x is this one, absolute value of x, plus 4 means I move left to 4 units. Is that okay?
Yeah. Can we do the next question, please? 'Cause
Yes,
I'm
yes, we will.
thinking of that.
Okay, comfortable so far? All good?
Mhm.
Okay, next one, you guys go. See, similar thing, just a little bit more involved. 6 minus 2x, the absolute value of it. Give it a go.
Actually, no. Usually we can apply.
Alright. You can draw minus 2x plus 6 first, x absolute value, or you can do translation. Give it a go. Totally up to you which one you do. Alright?
These are right.
Does D change?
I'm gonna put these.
Personally, I'm more comfortable with sketch this one first and just take the absolute value of it.
Yeah.
Yeah? That's mx plus b. And from that, it tells me, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Y-intercept is 6. What's gradient?
-2.
-2 tells me, that part tells me rise over run, but in a negative direction. All good? Alright, so let's do it. Rise, go up twice. Run horizontally, go once, but negative, so instead of going to the right, I'm going to the left.
But it doesn't matter.
Yup. Then I'm going to just sketch these 2 points together. That gave me minus 2x plus 6. Any check? Negative gradient, negative 9. Yeah, from left to right is decreasing. Now you're done.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to get rid of this part, right?
Is where it touches the x thing 3.
Okay, on the x-axis, y equals 0. Yes, good point. So we should always label the intercept. On the x-axis, y is 0. So x is 3.
Gradient is 2.
Very good. Well done. Make sense? Let's move on. You guys have to go for D. Have a try first, and then we'll talk about it.
I did D.
So D, I would say it's a combination of B and what we did last week.
D.
Vertical translation.
X minus
Yeah.
Yep, this part tell you it's
Nice.
vertical translation.
X
Anyway, have a go first.
Right.
No, let me explain, yeah?
It's making
Let's
tricky
do
solve.
the x minus 3.
You already done? Or you're doing in your head? Yeah, it's good to visualize in your head what's going
X
on.
minus 3 line is basically along here, right? With a negative 3 there and a 3 there. And now
Giving some
the
extra
absolute
discussion.
value, we get that, right? So this is still 3 here, which makes this 3 here, right? And now we move it to minus 2, so we move it down to, so we get a 1 here, a 3 there, and a minus 2 there.
Is it like that?
No, not those numbers, but close. No, yes you can, because it's only the first part which is the absolute, and then you minus the 2 afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Hey, if you
that
go to 5, that's
so much
okay.
sense.
Oh, in that case it's right.
Okay.
Is that?
did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll come and have a look.
Since
That makes sense now.
it's this tiny thing here,
Yeah.
Which one?
this one.
That was mine.
Yeah, Kieran has the same thing as me.
Yours?
I thought, yeah, I did it wrong. Because I thought you had.
Okay, how about-
I saw the whole thing in the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about we break this down into 3 parts, right?
Yeah, let's
I
do
get
This
it
one,
now.
this one we can definitely visualize in our head, which we talked about 10 minutes ago when we first introduced the V shape, right? What happened from here to here?
You.
Right.
It went right.
Perfect.
I'm just
I'm moving the V shape towards the right 3 unit. From here to here, it's last week's stuff. It's horizontal translation, right? From here to here, what happened?
Goes
Yeah,
down.
down.
to-
Perfect. So it's just a matter of, so originally we had that.
Yeah.
Now we had this. Then we had that.
Yay, I did it.
Yeah? Very, very good. Okay. Last one, then we're going to move on to something else. E.
That's that one. Oh, because okay. Is that because it's a positive or negative?
E is an interesting one, give it a go. E is quite different to all the ones we've done today so far.
Something like this. Pretend it's same.
Follow the meaning of the absolute value, then you guys will be alright.
That is the difference of 2 squares.
Like that? Just
Yeah. So then you minus the 4.
So my word of advice is to draw x squared minus 4 first.
Flip it.
Then just a matter of reflect.
You see, because you flip that.
But isn't the negative, but the negative 4's in the thing, I'm not doing this right.
Order of operations. You do the inside, then the absolute. Or it doesn't really matter either way. And it's that. I'm pretty
It
sure.
does matter either way.
Can't do the absolute. They can
Do
set
the
2 x
absolute
values.
values, you do this.
Yeah, and that's wrong.
Wouldn't it move to the right 4? Because it's the absolute. It's
Move
not
to the
abs-
right, really?
No,
Yeah.
it wouldn't move to the right.
Why not?
It moves down.
Minus 4 is
Yeah, 'cause
vertical translation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
But
get
then
it
the
right.
other one, it
See,
was
I read that.
horizontal.
I think you guys forgot about last week's stuff. So,
No, sir. What, you haven't drawn y equals that. You haven't drawn that.
I haven't finished. Yep. I haven't finished. I'm just doing the procedure. So x squared is the small one, right? X squared minus 4 is vertical translation down 4 units.
And that's the absolute.
Remember last week we said if the minus 4 is at end, it means y movement.
Yeah.
Because the absolute is not
Yeah.
like brackets, so you don't.
Now, I'm going to get rid of this now, otherwise it's confusing.
I'm gonna leave
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Based on this
Okay.
graph here, right? Based on this graph here, now we're going to the absolute value now.
Yeah.
And then we understand the absolute value is reflect the negative part about the x-axis.
This all makes
So-
so much sense.
So the final graph is this.
think I'm something I can actually do in that.
If it's drawn onto the negative, do the
Okay.
absolute first negative sides. We'll just ignore the other sides.
Now, technically speaking, this particular question is not an advanced, but because you guys are accelerated class, I thought I'll do a little bit more, extend a little bit more. This particular one is extension one, but all the rest we've done is an advanced, right? So,
This is fine.
now, that's basically, how you can see, originally is this, and the negative part get reflected about the x-axis.
Oh wait, yeah, two.
Okay, I'm not going to continue here because this sort of stuff you'll do heaps of this next year.
Sorry.
This particular one is the extension one. Only this, but all the rest of them today is examinable. Okay? I'm not going into more detail, but heaps more detail here. All right. Let's go back to the equation one. Okay, I'm going to continue. After these questions, we finish for today. Now, we know the meaning of absolute value is positive case, negative case, right? Remember that? We can get this, we can get that. Yeah. All the question here is just application of that statement, basically. So all of the questions here are, in my opinion, they're all the same. It's just application over and over again of that two cases. So for example, this is that, or that. Make sense?
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Now the rest you guys can do within just a few seconds.
Alright,
Right?
so it's just, okay.
Yeah?
No, it does. Okay, I get this. This makes so much sense.
Why doesn't it?
Because on the left side,
You're just
always
giving
gonna
the
be
other
positive.
value.
That means x can be.
Or
if
you
x
need to
is
understand
positive and then
you're
it's
just
positive,
putting it
x is
If
negative, and then
I got a positive case,
that means x
or
is
negative
positive
case.
or negative. Yeah.
Okay?
Even
I
though
finally
C
understand
and C,
this.
B, C, D, E, all the same thing, just different numbers. Yeah? I'm gonna do B and C, D, you guys can do,
Wait,
right?
what about zero? Does-
Zero, just zero.
no.
So this one is that or
That makes sense.
that. Right? Okay, so these are pretty much the same sort of category. Question.
Minus 9 over 3.
Is that okay?
And you just one.
Good.
That's what I got. Nice.
Now, I would say these three are similar sort of thing. Now, when you plot decimals, you will see it's almost like point of intersection, that sort of thing. Can you visualize that? That one will give me a V shape, right? That one will give me a straight line, and I want to know where they intersect. Remember that we have sort of thing like in the AP1 paper? Find the point of intersection between the line and the parabola. Remember that question? Yeah, good. Remember that question? Where you lost 2 marks? Okay. So this one, how do I write F? I have that. Yes? Then you guys can continue solving, right? Easy. That's year 8 stuff. Then I have
I did it so.
that. It's just 2 cases.
Or could the negative be on the other side as well?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But remember the bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the first couple questions, are we allowed to solve it by treating the right hand side as a plus minus?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes. Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Plus, minus.
Yeah, I did it as one solving thing and then at the end it worked out with plus
Excellent.
minuses, yeah. Yeah, I
Daniel,
understand.
Daniel, stop the video.
No, it's all right.